The city of Viral 9 was built in layers. On the surface, it glittered like a jewel, glass towers, anti-gravity roads, and neon skies that never dimmed. But beneath that beauty, it was something else entirely. A trading hub for the galaxy's most dangerous species. And where danger gathered, assassins followed. No one suspected a human child would matter here. Humans were still new to the wider galaxy, considered adaptable, curious, but harmless. Weak even. So when 12-year-old Liam Mercer arrived with a small transport permit and a modest luggage case, no one paid attention. Except one thing. The tiny creature sitting on his shoulder. It was called a nib. At least that's what Liam called it. No bigger than a fist, covered in soft silver fur, with glowing blue eyes and a habit of chirping whenever Liam was hungry. To most species, it looked like a toy, pet, a distraction, something cute for a lonely child. But Nib was not a pet. Not exactly. Liam had found it drifting inside a broken escape pod 2 months ago, barely alive, flickering between states of consciousness like a broken signal. He had no idea what it was, but he fed it anyway, kept it warm anyway, spoke to it anyway, and it never left. Now, on Viral 9, Liam walked through crowded marketplaces, unaware that several sets of eyes were already tracking him. Not the child, the thing on his shoulder. Because somewhere in the shadows of the city, an assassin had already been hired. They called him the Quiet Blade. No records, no face, only contracts completed, and bodies that vanished before dawn. And his current contract was simple: eliminate the human boy, erase the reason behind him, and retrieve the creature, alive, if possible. Liam noticed nothing. He was too busy staring at floating vendor stalls, too busy counting credits, too busy gently scratching Nib's head as it chirped softly. But Nib noticed everything. His tiny head tilted slightly, his glowing eyes flickered, and then it went still, completely still. That was the first sign. Behind them, in a reflection of a shop window, a man in a gray coat stepped into the crowd. Too smooth, too precise, too invisible. The assassin was close. Nib chirped once. Low. Warning. Liam frowned. What's wrong, buddy? Nib didn't respond like usual. Instead, it moved. Fast. Jumping off Liam's shoulder. Landing silently on the ground. The assassin noticed immediately. So did Liam. What are you doing? Liam whispered. Nib ran. Not away. Toward the crowd. Toward the assassin. The assassin paused. Confused. Then continued walking. Because a tiny creature was irrelevant. Until it wasn't. Nib stopped directly in front of him. Looked up. And chirped again. But this time, the sound wasn't cute. It wasn't soft. It was sharp. Structured. Almost coded. The assassin froze. For the first time in decades, his instinct screamed. Impossible, he muttered under his breath. Because what he was seeing was not a pet. It was a reconnaissance-class bioform, military origin, lost design, suppressed intelligence species, a tracker, a hunter, a witness system. Nib tilted its head, and then projected a faint pulse of light, invisible to humans, but not to systems, not to implants, not to assassins. The assassin's wrist implant flickered, data streaming, exposure protocols triggered. His identity was being scanned. He reacted instantly. A blade slid from his sleeve. One clean motion. Silent kill. But before he could move, Nib vanished. Not ran. Not jumped. Vanished. Reappeared on a rooftop above. Watching. Analyzing. Broadcasting. And Liam finally turned around. He saw the assassin. Saw the blade. Saw the crowd slowly shifting away without understanding why. What is going on? Liam whispered. The assassin didn't answer. Because he couldn't. His identity was already being stripped. Encrypted layers collapsing. Hidden contracts exposed. Employer traced. Network compromised. And all of it was coming from a tiny creature on a rooftop. Nib chirped once more. And the city systems responded. Security drones activated. Local surveillance unlocked. Emergency protocols engaged. The assassin was no longer invisible. He looked up at Nib. For the first time, fear entered his eyes. "You're supposed to be extinct," he whispered. Nib tilted its head, almost curious. Then it chirped again, and every security node within 3 kilometers locked onto the assassin's position. Sirens followed. Liam stood frozen, confused, watching the world shift around him like a dream breaking apart. "Nib?" he whispered. The creature didn't look at him. Not yet, because it had a job to finish. The assassin turned to run, but every exit was already sealed. Every route mapped. Every identity exposed. He was no longer a shadow. He was a target. Within minutes, it was over. Security forces arrived. The assassin disarmed, captured, shocked, because no human force had tracked him. No AI had detected him. A tiny creature had done it. Liam ran to Nib as it returned to him, jumping back onto his shoulder like nothing happened, chirping softly again. "Back to normal." "What are you?" Liam whispered. Nib leaned into his neck. Warm, familiar, safe. But somewhere in its glowing eyes, something ancient still lingered. Because Nib wasn't just a pet. It was a failsafe. A witness designed by civilizations that no longer existed. A living security archive. A silent guardian of things the galaxy tried to bury. And it had chosen a human child. For reasons even it didn't fully understand yet. That night, the galaxy learned something important. Assassins could hide from empires, from fleets, from gods of war, but not from something small, something quiet, something underestimated. A human boy's tiny pet. Because in the universe, danger doesn't always come in large forms. Sometimes, it sits on your shoulder and watches,